10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Yes, people, good morning. Sam here, United People's TV. It's the 11th of May, and I've got reasons to have a smile on my face because we've got a hell of an exciting day coming up with the FA Youth Cup final tonight. A sold-out Old Trafford. I will repeat that. A sold-out Old Trafford are going to be there to watch our under-18s playing their first FA Youth Cup final since 2011. I'm going to be speaking about that. We're going to do a nice big preview of it. It's going to be exciting. We're also going to talk about Erik Ten Hag's Ajax, who could win the Eredivisie title tonight in the Amsterdam ArenA. That's going to be very exciting. And also, we're going to speak about, depends where your excitement levels go. There's more changes at Manchester United. More changes to the structures behind the scenes at the club. The structures behind the scenes which have crippled United for so long. And changes are really, really happening under Richard Arnold. We're going to speak about those in detail. Let me see who's down here in the comments. Gungshi, good morning to you. Sashi watching from Japan. Takeoff, Vicky, I can see you there. Fred, we've got Ant, Jason, Joda, Tim Daly. How you doing, buddy? Stefan, I can see you there joining. Sam Rawlinson. There was a new member as well. Paul, nice to see you there this morning, Paul. Thanks for joining, buddy. Let me know where you're watching from. I'll try and give you a shout out. Francis T. Hey, plenty of you down here. And I'll tell you what, look, I suppose that I'll talk about it in a bit more detail, but how incredible after the season that we've had with how low the sort of morale is around the club for Old Trafford to sell out for the under-18s. It's completely blown apart the previous record held for an FA Youth Cup game. And Manchester United record holders won it 10 times, I believe. Won it the first 5 times back in the 50s, back in the Busby Babes time. And tonight we're going to get to see the under-18s, the likes of Kobe Mainoo, the likes of Hansen, the likes of course, Garnacho and McNeil. We're going to speak about it. And I'll tell you what, man, it's exciting times ahead for the youth team for sure. Whether it's exciting times ahead for the first team, well, we'll get into that. We'll talk about Erik Ten Hag. But one thing that continues to happen is more changes behind the scenes. And that's going to be the focus of today's show at the start. Then we're going to go into an FA Youth Cup final preview ahead of the game tonight. We'll speak about the route to the final. I'll run through the preview. It's good. Then we're going to run through, we're going to speak about Jim Ratcliffe again because he's popped up. But hey, you know what to do. You let me know where you're watching from in the comments here. Any questions you'd like to fire in, I'll try and answer as many as I possibly can. We've got Noel watching from Dublin, Salim watching from Ghana, Cornish watching from, understandably, Cornwall, and Ray watching from Down Under, and Paul watching from Barnsley. Look at that, Reds all around the world. One red I do want to find is What Hump. This was the review. It was chosen at random. I told you I was giving away one of these this week. Whoever What Hump is, you're going to need to get in contact with me. And I've realized I've kind of ballsed up a little bit in how I've structured this giveaway because I can't actually get in contact with What Hump. I really apologize to What Hump, but I'm going to say this every single day this week on this live stream. You need to get in contact with me and prove that was you. And then I'll be able to do this giveaway. If not, I'm going to have to give it away some other way, but I'm a little bit annoyed because I wanted to give it away for those who had left a 5-star review on the podcast. And I will spam that one more time in the comments now that I've mentioned it. Honestly, every single week, if anybody hasn't listened to the podcast yet, if anybody hasn't followed the podcast and left a review on the podcast, it will make the world of difference. You can follow the QR code just down there. That will take you to the podcast or the link I've just left in the description. Fred, I reckon you're lying. I don't think you're What Hump, but you just don't know. But look, let's move on from What Hump. Let's move on from the podcast and let's talk about more changes at Manchester United. Now, obviously, we've seen Richard Arnold coming in and becoming the club's first chief executive officer. That's the actual position that Edwin van der Sar holds at Ajax. We hadn't had one before. Ed Woodward wasn't a CEO. I can't remember. I think it was like vice executive or some weird. It wasn't the same role. So Richard Arnold came in and so much was said. So much was said about, you know what? It's just going to be another Ed Woodward. It's not really going to change much at Manchester United. But under his stewardship, there really have been some substantial changes to Manchester United that give me a bit more optimism going forward. I've said this to you before quite a lot of times here on United People's TV. all of us now have a natural position of pessimism. We look at something and go, that's not going to make a difference. That's not going to change anything. Because we've invariably been proven correct over a sustained period of time as United fans. But I'm just looking at these changes now over the last 8 to 9 months, and I'm saying, you know what? Maybe the club really is changing. Maybe this is shaping up to be a new era. I hope so anyway. Danny, you're going to the game tonight, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. So I'm going to the game, so excited. Win or lose, the team are going to give 100% and show the first team what it means to be a United player. You can watch it for free on the FA Player. Love the vids. Big up to you, Danny. I was going to say that later on. I will say it later on. I've got it up here. I'll send a link into the comments for anybody. This is the official FA Youth Player. FA Youth Player? Just the FA Player. If you go down here, you can see what's on tonight. The FA Youth Cup. I will leave this link in here. Now, unfortunately for everybody who isn't in the UK, this is UK only. But brilliantly, just use a VPN. Use a VPN anywhere around the world. Change it to the UK, and you can use that link that I've just put in the comments there, which is official. No one can have a go at me for saying illegal streaming. That is the official link on the FA Player. You can watch United's under-18s in front of... Mate, it blows my mind, man. It blows my mind. A sold-out Old Trafford for an under-18s game. Now, that's support for the youth. That is support for the youth. Harry, you're saying, could it not just be... This is what I mean. From a cynical and pessimistic point of view, we could take this. Could it not just be Richard Arnold putting his team together, like a new manager bringing in his own coaches? Absolutely, it could be. Absolutely, it could be. But the thing I would say about that is this. Richard Arnold will have an ego just as much as Ed Woodward had an ego, just as much as anybody who's a top level in a high, important position will have an ego. And Richard Arnold, he's a smart man. He's worked his way up to this point, and like, whether or not we like what he's done, that's a different conversation altogether. But I don't think he's a dumbass. And I also don't think it takes a rocket scientist to look at what's gone wrong at Manchester United and point the finger firmly at what Ed Woodward did and the strategy he led and the sort of strategy that Richard Arnold has to avoid. He's talked about delegation. We've seen a lot of delegating. A lot. John Murtough's come in. 2 chief scouts have gone. Matt Judge has gone. A new deputy director's coming in. We've effectively getting an entire new footballing structure behind the scenes. And now we're starting to see changes to the corporate side of things. Now, this is completely and utterly under Richard Arnold's remit. And I'm going to run through it now. I'm going to run through the news, explain it all to you, and explain exactly why it's been absolutely necessary for a long time for United to do this to the corporate side of things. Ray, you're staying down here saying, love or hate him, Rangnick started the change and I admire him for it. I think for him to kickstart the new era, Núñez is a must. Obviously, I did the full story video on Núñez yesterday. There's lots and lots more videos coming here over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of months, really, about Erik ten Hag and Núñez. You can check out that video yesterday. I'm not 100% in on Núñez. I'll be completely honest. As I said, I'm 100% in on Tchouaméni, but I don't think there's a striker that I'm 100% in on. I think there's a lot of options I go, well, he could be good. He could be good. That's why I hope our scouts get it right. But let's dive into this news here and let's run through it together. This is the news here coming from The Athletic yesterday. Manchester United's chief strategy officer leaves as behind-the-scenes changes continue. And there he is there. There's Hemen. No, not Hemen. Hemen. Hemen Tseayo, I'm going to call him Tseayo, has worked at Manchester United since 2012, joining from the international banking organisation UniCredit Group. It is understood the club CEO, Richard Arnold, informed staff of his departure on Tuesday. He was involved in helping United be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Also played a pivotal role in the launch of the women's team and spoke on behalf of the club on the last investor call. Now go down here and we read a bit of this. Blah, blah, blah. Woodward stepped down as the club's executive vice chairman. That was his role. Told you he wasn't a CEO. Tseayo had a close relationship with Woodward, working together on broadcast rights and the European Club Association, and now is seen as a natural time to depart, given the change at the top. And look at this bit here. For years, Tseayo, Woodward, and Judge worked in adjacent offices at United's Mayfair headquarters. Now, that puts a huge smile on my face. It's like, what's the opposite of the Three Musketeers? I don't know. Three evil musketeers. There must be some sort of evil trio. But if Woodward's gone and Judge is gone and Tseayo is gone and all of them worked closely together, Hemen Tseayo? Okay, we'll go Tseayo. I'll call him Hemen. It's easier. It's easier to call him Hemen. All of them are gone. All of them are gone. One by one, they've all now left the club. I don't know why I'm clapping, but I just clapped. Ray, you're saying players needed calling. Absolutely, man. Like, you know what I think about Ralph Rangnick. I'm probably going to do a video as a thank you message to Ralph Rangnick. That's how much I support what he's done and what I think he will do. The Three Ugly Sisters, the Three Stooges. There they go. The Three Stooges. There you go. Three-headed dog. Yeah, also a good one. Dumb and Dumber. I like this. I like what's going on there. Flawless, what are you saying? What do you think about Ralph's time so far? Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. It's not been brilliant, has it? But I think what he's doing for the club behind the scenes and even if he hasn't directly been involved in all, and he hasn't been, why would he be? He's an interim manager. I think Ralph's vocal and open and transparent way of speaking has been part of this culture of change. I think, anyway. I think it's all part and parcel. Right, let's go and read this a little bit more. But see how he's wanted to. I don't care what he wants to do in his career. Anyway, Hemen is leaving. Goodbye, Hemen. And I thought this was a very interesting little snippet that was brought out by Kieran Maguire, Price of Football. He said Manchester United's chief strategy offer, Hemen Tseayo, is to leave the club. By an amazing coincidence, Project Big Picture, the attempt by 6 clubs to seize control and money in the domestic game 18 months ago, was authored by someone called Hemen Tseayo. I wonder if they're related. So what you're looking at here is Manchester United, as you can see, sacking the chief strategy officer. And the chief strategy of Manchester United for the last few years has been Super League, has been that project, what was it called? Project what? Project Big Picture, I think it was. Project Big Picture and the European Super League. 2 attempts at power grabs by established top 6 clubs to cut off the rest of the league, to isolate themselves, to funnel money back towards us. That's been our strategy for the last good few years. Led by Ed Woodward and backed by cronies like this man here, who's now leaving the club. To sack your chief strategy officer means you're having a switch, a change in strategy, because otherwise you wouldn't sack him. If you were happy that the way your strategy was going, you wouldn't sack him. This is a bit like JR down here in the comments. Is a really good comment. So easily, it's the biggest. You can get caught up in transfers all day long, and look, I will absolutely come the summertime. It's going to be transfers daily on here. Of course, it will be. But these changes, and I've always got more. Probably I haven't got more than one eye. I've got one eye on the club, on the long term changes that I think have come in now, and this is just another one, man. This is just another one. And it won't be a change where we personally as fans see too much. It's the corporate side of things. But as I've said to you previously, we all know that famous quote from Ed Woodward, the lion fucking worm that he was. We're not really... Manchester United's success on the pitch doesn't really affect our ability off the pitch. And all along, United fans are saying, that's just a straight up lie. Complete and utter lie. And we're now seeing the proof of it. Warren, you're saying if United are successful in the next few years, challenging Liverpool and City, who would you give credit to, Murto or Arnold? Goodbye, He-Man. No, He-Man was decent. This has happened under Richard Arnold's watch. Richard Arnold is the man who is the CEO. Ultimately, he is the decision maker below Joe Glazer. He is the one that signs off on all of this. And I hope to think that the micromanagement is stopping and Joel Glazer isn't involved in all of these. I mean, he probably is involved in the sign-off of these decisions. But Funko watching the whole way from California. Yes, mate. I really want to visit California. Look, we've got DFs watching from Liberia. How you doing? I think Richard Arnold deserves a lot of credit. Of course, proof is in the pudding. We're at the beginning of this story with Richard Arnold, and the beginning of the story of this, let's be honest, a kind of a fresh-looking United behind the scenes in terms of how we're going to operate. Whether it works or not, we'll see in the next few years. But the signs and the omens are good. In the same way that the omens are horrendous when you look at the fact that City have already signed Haaland before the end of the year and we don't even have a set of coaching staff. There's so much that still needs to improve. And it won't all happen at once. But this, I've said this before. I don't know. I like the analogy, the idea that we're closing the book. This season was the final chapter in a book that was started in 2014 and ends in 2022. An 8-year shit. No one's picking that encyclopedia up. No one's reading that 8-year history of Manchester United. No one wants to. But hopefully, the story that's written from 2022 to 2030 is going to be completely and utterly different. And this is just the beginning of it. That's what I hope so anyway. But back to what I was saying there about, Ed Woodward always said that, United as a corporate entity, we're not affected by what goes on the pitch. We all said that's complete and utter lies. And the numbers don't lie. So if you look here, this is Manchester United's total revenue from 2009 to 2021. And we look here when Ed Woodward took over, 2013. He was successful. If you look at the growth between 2013 to 2017, our revenue went up from 477 million to 764 million. Ed Woodward nearly doubled the revenue of Manchester United. Not him personally, but he was the person in charge of that whole corporate side of things when our revenues nearly doubled in a 4-year period. It's a massive, massive growth period for Manchester United in terms of the commercial success of the club. But then look at 2017 to 2021. Now, of course, we're looking at COVID here and COVID here. But even 2017 to 19, look at the growth there. That's not even, what's 10% of that? 76? It's not even 10%. Went up 34%, 5% growth in 2017 to 19. Huge, huge stagnation in terms of the commercial ability of Manchester United. That's only been compounded by the COVID and what we've seen with the loss of matchday revenues and XYZ. But Ed Woodward was found out massively. And now United have got rid of their chief strategy officer because, as the numbers prove right there, our strategy has not worked. Our strategy has not worked as a commercial club. Since 2017, there's not really been any substantial growth. Last 5 years, I've told you this, and here are the numbers to prove it. Not worked because it's tied in to the success or the lack of success on the pitch. It's about time that these changes, they're all needed. They're all needed. And hopefully they can now all align towards United actually winning things. We need that. We absolutely need that. Someone joined as a member up there. Blessed. I think you may have joined before. You might not have. Let me know where you're watching from, Blessed. Jedi, I don't trust them to get anything right. Look, I don't trust them either. I really don't. There's no way that I would trust Manchester United's board to do things correctly. And ultimately, until the Glazers leave, we know that they've still got a stranglehold on us. But it doesn't mean that I can't be excited about these incremental changes. Because ultimately, I think it, step by step and bit by bit, it's just reducing the Glazers' power and that Glazer model that has crippled the club for so long. And Fergie was just the genius who managed to navigate it in spite of. They didn't contribute to it. It was in spite of. And now what we're seeing here, hopefully, is Manchester United actually taking this forward, and let's see what's going on. Why do people randomly lie about things like this? Or maybe they do. Maybe you just need to sort your own internet out. Why is the game not a neutral ground, says Malcolm. I'll go into it. We're going to speak about the FA Cup, Youth Cup now. But it's because United were drawn first in the draw for the semi-final and the final, which means they got the home advantage. It works out quite nicely. Let's face, we're owned by American banks. Well, aren't a lot of people in the world, right? Let's go down here. He was also in charge of our biggest flops and ruined our transfer strategy. I mean, he had nothing to do with that here, of course. That is just to do with the corporate side of things. But it's good here. It's not something this is not something I'll talk about past today. This is the only time I'm going to have a conversation about our chief strategy officer leaving, because ultimately it's the corporate side of things. I don't really care about it, but it's just another good sign, a good omen that things are changing, man. That the club have realized that the strategy is just not worked off the pitch. It's stagnated United as a business as well as a football club, both at the same time. Because, lo and behold, Man United's ability to operate as a corporate business is directly impacted by our ability on the pitch. And for Ed Woodward to ever feed that lie and believe that lie and let that lie lead strategy that success on the pitch doesn't affect your ability off it as a business is just so staggeringly wrong. Negligence. I don't know what to call it. It's just an utter lie. And now we're seeing the proof of it. So it's good that with these changes happen. I mean, the role of the chief strategy officer is literally in his job title. He is the chief strategy officer. He was leading the strategy of the club from a corporate perspective, whether we were going after certain sponsors, whether we were going to be pushing towards the European Super League, whether we were going to be pushing towards Project Big Picture, the overall strategy of Manchester United as a publicly limited company. That's what he did. Razla, how you doing, buddy? No offense, but I don't want us to sign Darwin Núñez. I'd rather have Lautaro Martinez instead. I think Núñez would be a waste of money, and I believe that Inter owe us a load of money from that Lukaku deal. It's a bit weird, that. Did they owe us money for Sanchez? No, I don't think they did. Got him on a free or something like that. Anyway, as I said, Darwin Núñez is clearly top talent. Absolute elite, lethal goal scorer. All-round game, questionable. Could he make the transition? Of course he could. But he might not. I would say it's a bit of a risk with Darwin Núñez, and certainly for 75 million, 80 million, it would be a big risk. But United need a striker. We absolutely need a striker. Ryan, you're saying, are these sackings an indicator of a change in the Glazer thinking, or was Woodward the main culprit for all of our issues? Ryan, I like to think it's a bit of both. I think internally, there's a lot of finger pointing towards Woodward, whether or not it's direct or not. It's obvious. He was the man leading that strategy for so long with the likes of Hemen Tseayo and Matt Judge. And the strategy has crippled the business. Really has. The revenues just have not grown in the last 5 years. Of course, COVID's part of that. Now, I don't think it's really going to change too much in terms of the Glazers' thinking, if I'm being completely honest. I think that's an immovable object. I don't think the Glazers are all of a sudden going to become good owners. I don't think any amount of protests will change that. I don't think any amount of changes at the club will change that. They're leeches, and they will always be leeches. Like proper leopards don't change their spots when it comes to the Glazers. So until they leave, I won't be happy. But I will definitely be happy about the internal workings, the day-to-day at Manchester United. We're really starting to head in the right direction. Matt, you joined as a member. Nice to see you there, buddy. Let me know where you're watching from this morning. I'll try and give you a shout out if I see your name in the comments. Youth winning the cup and Ajax winning the league. It could be a cracking day today. And I'll tell you what, let's dive into it now. We've had 20 minutes there. As I said, I don't think this is as significant as Matt Judge leaving in terms of the day-to-day running of our club as a football club. But Manchester United replacing their chief strategy officer is a big, bold move from Richard Arnold to start taking United in a different direction. And fingers crossed that can work properly. Good morning to you, Collins. Who else is down here in the comments? Let's have a look. Let's have a little read. Lamar's on a free. Is he on a free? I don't think Lamar's on a free. I can see people talking about free transfers. I've got plenty of videos coming up. I might do a video on free transfers. I've got a video I want to do on like 7 smart signings. Because I think United had to be smart this summer. It's not always about the big names. I think there are smart signings that we can do, and I'll run through them. But let's dive into what I consider the biggest story of the day. Absolutely. And that's this. These are the lads that are going to be walking out in front of that full stadium tonight. I still can't get my head around it. Manchester United have sold out Old Trafford for the FA Youth Cup final. Our under-18s are going to play in front of the biggest crowd of their lives, bigger than any stadium in the Premier League in England apart from Wembley. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And they must be absolutely buzzing for it. We haven't won the FA Youth Cup since 2011, but we're the record holders of it. We won it 5 times in a row. Back when we had the Busby Babes. Back in the early days of the 50s, we dominated that. Youth has always and will always be at the core of Manchester United. And you can see that tonight. Those under-18s, they've worked for this position, but they're going to never, ever forget this night at Old Trafford. £1 a ticket as well, and all proceeds are going to the Manchester United Foundation. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Anybody else going to the game tonight? Let's see who we got down here. Got Carl, you're going to the game tonight. Send us some pictures. Let me know if you enjoy it, buddy. A bigger crowd than City and Liverpool have ever played in front of it. Exactly, man. Like, in a year that there has been nothing to shout about, it wouldn't have been too much of a surprise to see them play in front of 10,000 fans, and it was like a muted atmosphere. It's not. It's 70,000 plus. Wow. Absolutely brilliant for the lads, man. Absolutely brilliant for the lads. There's a super chat flying in from Ray. How you doing, Ray? Nice to see you there. Saying, morning, Sam. I really like what Arnold's doing here. I think Woodward had a spell over the Glazers. I think Arnold has more understanding. I just think Arnold's being intelligent. Arnold is looking at the success that Woodward had in the early years as a corporate man and saying, right, okay, this is what he did right. And then ultimately where he completely failed in trying to dip his finger in and control the football side of things, where it was a cataclysmic failure. If he's good, and by what we can see, he's delegating. He has delegated to John Murtough, who's doing the likes of getting rid of Judge and Bout and Lawler. And now Arnold is getting rid of Hemen Tseayo, and he's making changes to the corporate side of things. If he's seen the mistakes that Woodward has made, he doesn't have to make them himself. And that's what I hope we can see with a new strategy going forward. Because if you look at what's happened at Liverpool and the likes of how important Michael Edwards has been in their sort of rejuvenation, obviously he was the chief man involved in all their transfers, and we still need that Paul Mitchell type character. Come on, Paul. My gut's telling me Paul Mitchell won't happen, but I'm still living hope, right? In the same way I'm still living hope about Jim Ratcliffe, and we're speaking about that next. Leela, you're saying, Sam, do you know where the international fans can watch the match? Yes, I do, Leela, and I will share the link one more time here. Here it is here. This is the official FA player. I'll drop the link in the comments for anybody. All you got to do is follow that link. If you're not in the UK, just use a VPN. All right? Use that VPN and you'll be able to watch the FA Youth Cup final for free. Look at that. Over 70,000 fans. That's support for the youth. So what we'll do now is we'll run through this. Let's run through the FA Youth Cup final preview. Harry Robinson, by the way, fun fact. Harry Robinson, who now writes for Manchester United, is one of the reporters there, used to write for the People's Person, my website. And I met Harry back, where was I? I think it was out in Turin for the Juventus. You know, where Mourinho came, we came from like 1-0. Was it 1-0 down to win 2-1? And Mata scored a deflected free kick, I think it was. Yeah, I met Harry out there. Good lad. Joda, it's free on MUTV. I mean, technically, you're paying for MUTV if you do that. So, well, anyway, don't need to. FA player. Let's run through this final preview and then let's speak about it. Fun fact, right, by the way, is this. This is Travis Binion, right? So Travis Binion is the under-18s coach. Who do you think was in charge of Sheffield United in the 2011 FA Youth Cup final? The last time Manchester United won it. Travis Binion. Imagine that. It's weird how it works, isn't it? And also tonight, the coach of Nottingham Forest is Warren Joyce, a man who steered our academy for so many years. It's weird. It's weird. It really is weird. But look, let's dive into it. Let's run through this preview here together and let's talk about it. Preview for the FA Youth Cup final. Arnold saying it was not a deflected free kick. It went straight in. Oh, my bad. Doesn't really matter. More than 56,000 tickets have been sold. Well, a lot more than that now. And look at this. This is what I mean about the FA Youth Cup. Look at these players that have come through, won the FA Youth Cup, and have gone on to be professionals, senior professionals. Tom Heaton, yep. Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, of course. Emil Smith-Rowe right now. Tariq Lamptey, wouldn't mind him. Reece James, Mason Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Mark Yehi, don't know, Mark, Conor Gallagher, and Kieran Trippier all won the FA Youth Cup final previously. And now tonight, there is some serious talent inside this Manchester United team that we will hopefully see win. And we go down here, look at that. United are the most successful club in FA Youth Cup history, winning the competition on 10 occasions. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row. And we all know why we didn't win it in 1958. But look at that. 2011 was the last time that we had won this tournament. And it could happen tonight in front of a full Old Trafford. It's amazing. It really is. As I said, I've already talked about Travis Binion and I've already talked about Warren Joyce. But look, here are the exciting players that we need to look at for Manchester United tonight. Our top 3 goal scorers, Alejandro Garnacho, Charlie McNeil and Sam Mather, sorry, not Maher. I'm really excited to see Kobe Mainu. Who are you excited to see? Hansen in midfield. You can talk about him. You could talk about Mainu. You could talk about Garnacho, about McNeil. There's a real crop here. And I've talked about this quite a lot. I suppose I've never really done a video on it. But Manchester United's we've been as a football club, we've been a bit of a calamity for 10 years. 8-9 years. A calamity. But our academy, in that same time frame, has been transformed through really good work with Nicky Butt, really good work with Nick Cox, really good work with John Murto, who was doing a lot of academy stuff before he was promoted into the football director role. And our academy has had a massive transformation in the last 5, 6, 7 years. We were a laughingstock. At one point, City was sweeping up all the young talent in Manchester. United's academy just weren't getting the right players in. And then something switched. And all of a sudden, in the last 4, 5, 6 years, Manchester United really have turned the screw. And we really have now. It's good, man. It's really, really good that the crop that we've got coming through here, it's not a coincidence that it's our first FA Youth Cup final in 10 years. The likes of Garnacho already made his first team debut. Charlie McNeil, an absolute lethal goal scorer coming through. Kobe Mainu, who looks like like a Pogba Kante combined. Someone with real power and grace in midfield. Somebody who looks a little bit too good for under-18s football. That's what I would call him. And how old is he? I think he's 17. Was he 16? Let's find out. Kobe Mainu. He is. Give me his date of birth. Stupid thing. Yeah, he's 17. He turned 17 less than a month ago. Wow. It's really exciting, man. I can't wait to watch it tonight. I absolutely implore you to watch it. I really think you should. And as I said, one more time, you can watch it for free on the FA Player. The official FA Player. This is nothing illegal going on here, so I can't get shut down for promoting streams, which is nice. There's the link in the comments. I left it on YouTube and I've left it on Facebook. If you're not in the UK, use a VPN and you'll be able to watch it for free. But I'm very, very, very excited about this game tonight. I'm excited to watch these youngsters. I hope they'll thrive in the atmosphere. I hope they'll thrive in the pressure. And we've got the home advantage. And that will play a lot. Unfortunate for Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest are bringing a good few thousand as well. Be a cracking game. Will be a cracking game. What's your predictions? You can let me know in the comments below. You're saying, I think Ole had a lot to do with the focus back on youth again. It started a couple of years before Ole in terms of the restructure behind the scenes. I think it was when Paul McGuinness left the club. When did Paul McGuinness leave Manchester United? That's when it really started to change. Let's have a look. Paul McGuinness leaves Man United. He left Man United in February 2016. Exactly on the money. 6 years. There's been a massive, massive change behind the scenes in the last 6 years of Manchester United. Yeah, sometimes I've got some good knowledge. Somebody's saying this is a bit Spursy. No, it's just a bit of a gym t-shirt because I'm going to get massive later. Jeez, you not tell? Size of me. My t-shirts are getting too tight. But look, if you are new here, welcome to United People's TV. All jokes aside, because I'm not massive in any way, shape or form. Please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as part of the community. I might come back later on and do a match reaction. I may also still do it. I'll probably do a video later on today as well. You can let me know what videos you want to watch. But yeah, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe to United People's TV. I'll tell you what, hopefully tomorrow morning we can come on here with a big, big smile on our faces after the FA Youth Cup is won by the under-18s and also after the Eredivisie title is won by Ajax. The day we've all been waiting for, says the official Ajax account. And look, Klaassen, he looks buzzing for it. Big day. That's a really weird match day poster. But it is a massive day for Ajax. They can win the Eredivisie title against Heerenveen at the Amsterdam ArenA. Tonight, what time's that kick off? Let's find out what time that kicks off. Ajax versus Heerenveen. That kicks off at 7 p.m. tonight. I think that's an hour before. Is it Man United, Nottingham Forest? I think that's at 8 p.m. I'm not sure. Not sure what time it kicks off. But look, do you think Ajax will win the league title tonight? Type yes or no in the comments. I think they will. I think in front of the home fans, they got the home advantage. It's a perfect way for Erik ten Hag to go out. Hell, you might even see Manchester United's official account tweeting about it. Bloody idiots. I don't know. The admin should be getting sacked for that. Ridiculous. United should not have let Nicky Butt go. I mean, honestly, mate, like, given what's happened with the growth of our academy, I'm not really going to say that any mistakes have been made with our academy. Every decision seems to have been done correctly. And I know Nicky Butt's been speaking about that. We won't go into that. Sam, you think they're absolutely going to win it? Ray, you think they do? Absolutely. Yes, down here. Lots and lots and lots of you think he's going to be winning it. Hell yeah. Ten Hag, hope so. Yes. Are we Ajax FC? I mean, we're Ajax FC tonight. We're a bit of both. United, Ajax. You can say what you want. FA Youth Cups, there you go, kicks off 7:30. So we can watch the first half an hour. Hopefully Ajax get a little 4-0 lead. Boom, in the bag. Let's go for the celebrations. I still absolutely might go out to Amsterdam just to join in, just to see what it's like. I'd love to be part of that atmosphere, to see what the send-off that the Ajax fans give Erik ten Hag. Obviously, it's not going to be that domestic double because they lost the cup final to PSV, but winning the title is always the most important thing. We know that. Curious question. I'll be interested to know this in the comments. If you had to choose between what Manchester United would win next, what would you choose? Would you choose the Premier League or the Champions League? Type it in the comments. For me, I don't think it's really close. Personally, I think it's Premier League, like, hands down. But I know a lot of people really value the Champions League. I mean, it's sexy. It is sexy AF. But the Premier League, man, it's all about Premier League. But if you had to choose one if you had to choose one to win next, to win first, which one are you choosing? Let me go down here. Cheeky Amsterdam trip later today. I'll go straight to King's Cross. Get on that. I've still not done that. The Eurostar direct to Amsterdam is dreamy. The Eurostar might be my favorite ever way to travel. I love that. Lila, you'd say Champions League. Mo, you'd say FA Cup first. You probably would be on your own saying that. Premier League, League Cup. Wow, Ballers Goat. You can stay Ballers for that comment. League Cup, my God. Diego, you'd say Champions League, Premier League. I don't know. Let's be honest, we're not going to win either of them for a while. But I'd love to win them both. I can't wait until we win them both. Haven't won the Champions League since 2008. That seems like a long, long time ago. Wow. Premier League since 2013. Jeez. It's been 9 years since we won the league and 14 years since we won the European Cup. God damn. What else we got to talk about? Yes, of course. There's no link in the description, Sam. I'm not sure what link you're talking about, sir. But look, quadruple in 2025. Imagine that would be nice, wouldn't it? Gangshi, my man, thank you very much. As always, dude, you always support the channel, and I really, really appreciate everything you do. Hoping for a Man United FA Youth Cup win tonight, and also a victory for Ten Hag. Keep up the great work, Sam. Thank you very much, my friend. Look, I keep saying it. I always appreciate the support everybody puts into the channel. I think we're genuinely growing into a wicked community now. I'm really proud of the content that goes out. Live stream every morning, one a day. That's all you need. Let's not spam it. Not everybody's got an hour 3 times a day to come and join a live stream. I also do the shorter videos for people who don't have time to join in the live streams. And then I also do the podcast now once a week, which is audio only. Something a bit different to what everybody else is offering out there. And I like that. I like to offer something different. And is singing songs about kids. Make sure you're doing that in the right sense. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well, and we will lead them the way. It's good, man. It's absolutely good. There is no look. If you're asking for the link for the youth game, I'll put it in here one more time. There's going to be no link in the description. It's here, right there. It's on YouTube and it's on Facebook now as a comment. Make sure you follow that. That's the FA Player. It's official. You can go on there. And if you're not in the UK, use a VPN to go through it. But look, we can speak about this if you want as well. This is kind of like trending yesterday on Twitter. I think it was James Stretford guy on Twitter was tweeting about Jim Ratcliffe. And Ankit, I can see you join as a member, mate. Let me know where you're watching from. And I'll get you in here. People are saying pin the comment to the top. Oh, God. It's really annoying. Let me just do that now. No, not really annoying. It's a bit harsh. But now I've got to open this. I'll open that. Got to go down here. We go there. Replace pin message. There you go. How about that? Don't say I don't treat you well, people. Sometimes I do. There you go. That's now been pinned to the top. So anybody who hasn't got the FA player link, it's now pinned to the top of YouTube. But look, Jim Ratcliffe. I spoke about Jim Ratcliffe. I've said, look, if Jim Ratcliffe really wants to buy Manchester United, it will be for sale. I'm dreaming. Yeah, I'm dreaming. And I will continue to dream. So many people shouted me down when I was dreaming about Ralph Ragnick. He came in. Maybe, I mean, he's not been a success as a manager, but I still think he's been a success overall in helping steer the direction of our club. People said I was dreaming about Erik ten Hag. It'll never happen, Sam. They're obviously going to get Poch. Our club never makes that. Oh, they got Erik ten Hag. Okay. Jim Ratcliffe. I'd love for him to come in and buy Manchester United. And I'm fully aware that the Glazers probably won't sell. I'm also fully aware the Glazers are greedy as fuck. And if they can all of a sudden get 4.5 billion with a B, cash, CASH, based off their original investment of 730 odd million. Huge profit that they can go and reinvest elsewhere. Really? You think that the Glazers won't consider that offer? Okay, you can tell yourself what you want to. That's wrong. If Jim Ratcliffe comes in and offers that to buy Manchester United could very much be for sale. I still don't think it will happen. But you're damn right I'm dreaming about it. And I sent this tweet out as well. Scenes in Manchester if Jim Ratcliffe buys United. That would be the party of all parties. The party of all parties. Oh my God, it'd be like a parade. It'd be incredible if he did. Come on, Jim. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Sam, we have some very wealthy fans. Look, let's not talk about the syndicate again, man. Let's not talk about the Red Knights, and they didn't do anything. There's no point talking about syndicates. It's Jim or nothing. Jim, I'm not going to say that. Just something came into my head. I very much kept it in my head. But you may, Jesus Christ, that was close. I thought was a bit weird. So the agreement on the new Champions League format. 2 places will still be awarded by coefficient, but with a country rather than club. So the idea that there might be extra places in the Champions League based on previous successes in certain countries. Group stage is going to switch to 8 games, played over 10. I don't like it. You've seen from the Champions League this year, you don't need to change anything. I don't think they need to change away goals, but it seemed to have worked. But don't change the format that much. Insane. I wish it wasn't going to happen. And I don't want Manchester United to somehow be able to get into the Champions League off the back of some bullshit like this. I want us to earn it. I really want. The Champions League used to be the champions of each league playing each other. That was the roots of it. And now they're just trying to make it bigger and better and just taking away the shine of it. You have to earn your place in it, man. You have to earn it. Paulie, right? It's another form of the Super League, isn't it? Asan saying we'll be singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." We'll be eating jelly and ice cream when that bad boy happens. Jeez, Tino, you're saying you got to earn your place in the Champions League? Yeah, absolutely. We should be doing it. And Matt, you're saying the new Champions League format is trash. More games, less time. Watch Pep and Klopp come out. Klopp will probably blame the wind and then complain how teams are playing against him when he doesn't get his own way. I've never seen anybody a less graceful loser than Jurgen Klopp. Maybe I'm being spiteful because he's a Liverpool manager. Probably I'm being spiteful because he's a Liverpool manager. But he really doesn't take it well, does he? Really isn't. It's just been that goddamn long since he's lost. I've forgotten what it was like. But look, I'm going to give another couple of minutes here before I wrap up and then start preparing for the video I'm going to get out this afternoon. I do work hard. So please drop a like on the video and subscribe to United People's TV. That's why the community is growing, because the hard work is paying off. And you as a community are helping make it happen. Didn't they have to change the rules to give the holders a guarantee? I don't know what they did. It's always weird. It's always odd. I just hope that, man, the Champions League is... Don't ruin the Champions League. Jeez, they're trying everything they can possibly do to ruin the Champions League. It's like the World Cup being increased. Is it going to be a 64-team tournament next? I don't know what they're doing, but they're going to... Is it 48? I think it might be 48. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Look, let me do a quick recap of the stories for anybody who's just joined in now. Manchester United's chief strategy officer has left the club. not left the club. He's been sacked. Richard Arnold is now bringing changes to the corporate side of things in the same way that we're seeing changes to the football side of things. He's delegating all those football changes to John Murtough, and he's bringing the corporate changes himself. United are heading in a new direction, people. I know we've still got the same owners, so the driver of the vehicle is still the same, but we've got better bodywork, got better engine. It feels like we're heading in the right direction. Fifth Mellow, you're saying if he buys United, I'll buy a United shirt for the first time since 2014-15. Hell, I'll buy a United shirt as well. Have you watched Doctor Strange 2? Very interesting comment, Ben. No, I haven't. I'll be honest, hands up, I'm not really that big of a Marvel fan. I've watched like 80% of them now because I felt like I was missing out. But still, the Avenger films are wicked in their own shape. And obviously, you need to know all the backstories, so you need to know the nuances. But I feel like I wasted my time a little bit. Sorry, I know there's going to be a lot of Marvel fans on here, but I've enjoyed different series and different franchises far more than I enjoyed the Marvel ones. I think it's because I never really read comic books when I was a kid. I read the Beano and the Dandy. Never really read comics that much. Can we get the match on a replay later? Yeah, you might be able to. I don't know. Obviously talking about the FA Youth Cup, but that's it. That's the main story for tonight. However you can, try and watch this game tonight. It's going to be fantastic. Everybody who's bought a ticket is going to that game. Well done. Over £70,000 being raised for the Manchester United Foundation. That's brilliant. Brilliant news. And that will make a big, big difference to the Manchester United Foundation. Hopefully the lads can put on a great show. Just Eat, can you sponsor me then? Give me some sweet takeaways. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you there joining as a member. Dennis and Menace. Oh, yeah. Big up Dennis and Menace. Oh, was it me? Was it Bash Street Kids? I like Bash Street Kids. They were good. What do I expect from Ralph's Preza on the 22nd? I mean, he's kind of bared all the ugly truths now, isn't he? I think I don't know. I have no idea. Hopefully, I'm going to go to that Crystal Palace game, by the way. I wanted to go to the Brighton game, but I couldn't make it. Ismail saying, I like you so much, Sam. Keep up. Big up to you, Ismail. Big up to everybody joining in. Gungshi, I have no doubt that you had a Dennis and Menace jumper as a kid. Absolutely no doubt. But look, thank you, everybody, for joining in this morning. I really enjoyed that. Hopefully, it's going to be a cracking day for United. If we win the FA Youth Cup and Erik ten Hag wins the Eredivisie title, then we can start going full steam ahead. Let's go, baby. Haaland has already gone to City. Adeyemi has already gone to Dortmund as a replacement for Haaland. United need to start buck up, get our coaching staff in place, and let's get active in the market. We've got to go early and hard. I think I reckon we'll be good at that. Take it easy, everybody, and I'll speak to you later on. Nasha. I know, it's a great character from, but I want to go and read the Beano now. I like the Beano.